pace. We have country experiences to prove this. China spent $3.15 billion on flood control between 1990 or 1960 and year 2000, which is estimated to have averted losses of about $12 billion. A mangrove planting project in Vietnam aimed at protecting coastal populations from typhoons and storms yielded an estimated benefit-cost ratio of 52 over the period 1994 to 2001. In 2007, Cyclone Sidr in Bangladesh killed 3,400, in contrast to the similar cyclone in 1991 that killed 138,000, and in 1970, as many as 300,000 people. The huge decrease in casualties is attributed to, in most part, to 42,000 volunteers, called megaphones on bicycles, who helped evacuate millions of residents before the cyclone struck land. The impact of Ondoy and Pepe a year ago reminds the government leaders that disaster risk reduction is no longer an option and can therefore not be delayed. With each disaster, our people are pushed deeper into poverty, as they lose almost everything that make up their lives' possessions. With each disaster, homes and critical infrastructure, like hospitals, schools, bridges, are destroyed. With each storm or drought, our poor farmers lose all the fruits of their labor, the basis of their very subsistence. With each disaster, money from the government coffers is diverted to relief, reconstruction, rehabilitation. If the government coffers turn empty, we resort to foreign loans that must be repaid with interest. For the developing world, where about 85% of the population is exposed to earthquakes, cyclones, floods, drought, the NDG initiatives are of central importance. The direct damage costs of disasters alone have shot up by around 13 times, from $75 billion in the 1960s to roughly $1 trillion in the past decade. Asia, very prone and vulnerable to the impact of earthquakes and floods, landslides, droughts, bears a large share of the total number of people killed by disasters, ranging from 74% to 85% of the total fatalities in recent years. Among the most deadly disasters that occur each year, at least 5 occurred in Asia. We as legislators must watch over our country's progress and investments made towards the MDGs, goal by goal, with disaster risk reduction as a crucial tool. Through our influence in spending, laws, and policy, we can create an enabling environment for achieving disaster resilient development. This means that as we build new health centers and retrofit old dilapidated ones, we ensure that these facilities can withstand natural hazards so they can keep functioning, especially during times of disaster. This means that we protect the livelihoods of poor communities and support alternative income-generating activities to give them more disaster-resilient income. This means that we stamp out corruption in construction and to make our schools safer from disaster. Mr. President, the significant steps that we have taken in the previous Congress are a testament that we legislators have a fundamental role in charting the path towards disaster-resilient development. The passage of the Climate Change Act, the ratification or the concurrence in the ratification of the ADMER, and many more, the passage of Disaster Risk Reduction Management Bill. Let us use this opportunity to chart the same progress towards achieving the Millennium Development Goals. The road promises to be filled with stumbling blocks, but instead of slowing us down, these challenges should bring about consensus, an agreement that our country should double, perhaps even triple, its efforts to reach our targets. We have the power and the duty to lead the way. Thank you, Mr. President.